Hi everyone, my name is Georgette Truan. I am the host of Fight CPS Real Talk with Miss G. And Stacy is going to join us late, I think. I'm not sure yet. Trying to find out currently. Um, and I work for Attorney Davis as well on fighting CPS all over the United States, in fact. A couple of people might not be aware of the tactics of CPS. When a social worker comes across as nice and sweet, please don't trust that. This is just a strategy, a demonic strategy on their part. Also, when a social worker asks you if you can afford an attorney, please do not respond. Please do not say yes or no, because at the end of the day, all they want to know is if you're going to be able to fight them. Okay. And I know some of you understand, or most of you understand what I'm saying, because I know for a fact most of you were asked the same question. Can you afford your own attorney? The reason they ask you for this again is because they want to make sure that you're not going to go against them, right? They want to make sure that you're not going to fight them. Because if you can fight them, right, then they're going to be careful, careful on what they write in their reports. Okay? Also, you need to understand that anything that you say to them will be held against you, meaning anything that you, anytime you open your mouth with a government official, okay, everything will be held against you. Social workers are government officials, they're entities working through the state. The state judges will always take their recommendation for everything. Why is that? Because the state judges get paid by the federal funding as well. With that children being stolen from innocent parents, the state judges don't have job security. Social workers don't have job security. So please, I'm begging you, watch what you say to a social worker. Do not open your mouth. Be mindful that their job is to set you up to fail. And then if you decide to hire an attorney later on, then it's going to be worse for you because your case is going to be so complex that the attorney will charge you more money than if you would have hired the attorney for just an investigative case. There's a lot of attorneys. I tried to find you guys attorneys. There's so many attorneys out there. Don't want to do CPS cases. And there's a few attorneys that will only take CPS cases if it's an investigative case. Okay? Makes their life easier, makes your life easier to make sure that the children are not removed from the home. That's their job. So many of you guys, hi Akima, hi Arshi. Oh wow. Thank you, Arshi. Well, welcome. You're right, Miss G. Anything I do that is court ordered or that is my civil, parental, or educational rights, they restrict communication with my children and violate court orders constantly and never penalized. Yep. And that's exactly what that's their mission, you guys. That's their whole mission. Their whole mission is to make sure that you don't have a chance to have your children. Okay? So again, I want to elaborate on something. When you guys call, okay, some of you guys call me and say, Miss G, um, it's a TPR, and the social work. My next hearing is a TPR hearing, which is termination of parental rights, and the social worker violated my rights. So you waited 12 months to discuss that the social worker violated your rights. What happened to you before the 12 months was up? If you did not get your child back in the first hearing, you don't have a chance to get your children back. You can do 10,000 classes. You can go to rehab for a year or two, you can bend it backwards for them, and they will still deny you your children. They will come up with new allegations that didn't even exist. The judge will always take their recommendation, because in the 12 months period, you already talk too much to them. You guys treat them like they're the judge. Yes, they have power. I get that. They have a demonic power. I get that. But you guys are talking to them like they matter. You have to be smart. In order for you to get your enemy, you have to be silent. Document everything, but you have to be silent. I told you guys this many times, for God's sakes, many times. Akima said, I've been utilizing my resources on filing contempt motions in collaboration with my attorney and for secure agency. The first parent and CPS restricted all visit and communication without a court order the day before my visiting day. Yep, that happens every day, Akima. Every single day with every parent I know. You guys need to do it again. If they're using a demonic strategy with you guys, you need to use a better strategy. The better strategy for you guys to use is speak less, right? When I say speak less, when a social worker says good morning during your visit, say good morning back. That's it. If the social worker asks you questions about your case in front of your children during the visit, do not respond. The social worker will, because if you open your mouth, even if you said anything nice, the social worker is going to write that the mother or the father or both are not paying attention to the visit with their children. Instead, they're talking about the case. I'm begging you guys. This is real. Good evening, sweetheart. Do not open your mouth with the social workers. They're not your friend. They're not going to help you. They're not going to do anything for you or your children. So do not say that you're innocent, that you have nothing to hide, that you're a good parent. We all know you have nothing to hide. We get that. Recently, I discovered social workers, like say, for example, there is a teenager that is hooked on drugs. Social workers, when they're involved, they will remove that teenager, right? Before they used to leave them alone. They would remove the teenager, put the teenager in a group home. The group home that they put the teenagers in, they do drugs, prostitution, all that. Then that teenager would be subjected to child trafficking, where the social worker will get a cut, and the foster home or the foster group home will get a cut. So now they're using teenagers, putting them in group homes to traffic them. Now, the adoptive ones, right, under the age of 7, they will put them immediately in an adoptive home. Immediately, they're not thinking about it, immediately in an adoptive home. While you, the mother, the father, or both, thinking that the child is just in a temporary foster home. There is no temporary foster home when there are children younger than 7 years old. Because again, they get more money from the federal side for adopting the children. Right? So if you get $100,000 for an adoption, as an example, they get more than that. But if you yourself get $100,000, right, and then say that if you just place the child in a temporary home that doesn't want to adopt, you only get from the federal government $5,000. Which one are you going to go for? The 100,000 or the 5,000? You're going to go for the 100,000. I'm just giving you an example. They're always going to be the money issue. Money overpowers you as the parent. Money will always win with the social workers. So again, from the beginning of your case, hire an attorney. Again, I will repeat, hiring an attorney when before the children are removed is the best thing you can do for your family. Because that CPS defense attorney, not a criminal attorney, CPS defense attorney will ensure the children are not removed. Furthermore, all your court appointed attorneys are not CPS defense attorneys. You can do your own homework, research your attorney by name, you will find out. 100% of the time, your court appointed attorney is a criminal attorney, immigration attorney, um, what else? Oh my gosh, there's another one. I forgot. But anyways, your attorney will never have um, knowledge of how to fight CPS. Your court appointed attorney. I'm telling you this, God honest truth. Research your own self. The reason they want these attorneys to handle your case, they're free. Yeah, free is not always a good thing. The only free I love is at Costco. Okay? Costco, when they give you samples, I love those samples. I can go out back for third and fourth. Okay? I love the free samples. But again, behind the free samples, it lures you to buy the product. Right? That's what they want to sell. But with a court appointed attorney, their job is to discourage you from fighting, to mislead you, and to tell you to listen to what the social worker tells you to do. Every court appointed attorney tells you to do what the social workers tell you to do. Because they're idiots. Why they're idiots? Because they don't know anything about CPS. They don't know anything about state jurisdiction laws. Right? A criminal attorney doesn't know anything about that. Immigration attorney don't know anything about that. Real estate attorney, that's the third one I was trying to remember. Real estate attorneys don't know anything about CPS laws. So when you think about it, you're literally with a free attorney that will never, ever reunify you with your children. But they will lie to you. I'll give you lies, examples. Miss So-and-so, 3 months. 3 months, you're going to get your kids back. You have to do the classes. You have to do what the social worker tells you to do. You're going to get your children back. You as a parent, great. I'm happy. I'll do the class. I'll do whatever it takes to get my kids back. Anything you want. I'll do anything you want to get my kids back. I'm going to read that comment, Akima, in a second, baby. Then you follow the instructions of your court-appointed attorney. Then 3 months passes. 6 months passes. 9 months passes. 12 months passes. And then the judge says in court, the baby's already calling the foster mom. It would be traumatizing to the child to remove from the foster mom. And then they move in the case to adoption. But they already put the child, the baby, in an adoptive home to begin with. They already knew they're going to adopt a child. You, as the parent, didn't know they're going to adopt your child. You need to be mindful. You need to understand that what you are subjecting your family to is not for the best interest of your family. Why? Because you chose to deal with the court-appointed attorneys. And I tell this to everyone I know. Again, if you open your mouth and say that you cannot afford an attorney, they will take full advantage of you immediately. If you say nothing at all and speak to a professional CPS defense attorney, ask the right questions, have them guide you, and you can guide that piece of crap, court-appointed attorney, that's useless. You can guide them by different ways via emails only. For example, Mr. So-and-so, I would like to file a grieving motion, or I would like to file a 388, or I would like blah, blah, blah. Everything you do it in writing via email. Why is that important? I'll tell you why. Because say when you lose your case and you have to appeal it, you can file a complaint and you can use the emails as part of your appeal. Okay? Attorney Davis has a specific strategy with his clients and how to do things in ways that you're ahead of them instead of them being ahead of you. But don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. It's wise words, really wisdom. Why? Because once you open your mouth and say, I'm going to sue you, I'm going to do this to you, I'm going to do this to you, they're going to cover their tracks better. You don't want them to cover their tracks. You want them to think that you're stupid. You want them to think that you are unaware of what they're doing. But the right way to handle this is to be ahead of them instead of them being ahead of you. Now I'm gonna read Akima's comment. I miss you, Akima, by the way. Miss G, a trigger and safety concern based on me threatening the foster parent. Akima, I told you, baby girl, for sending my 8-year-old to school an active crisis with a I can't even I need bigger. I need them. Why is there all the writings are so small now? Stacy, read this for me.
Oh my
Hi,
goodness.
Stacy.
Hi, Miss G. I just went. I don't know if you told everybody that I hit a deer the other day.
No, I was
But
gonna tell them. I was gonna say, please do not hit a deer right now.
yeah,
Um,
no, I'm not driving. This is my friend driving me. So we're
okay,
we're
so
we're legit. So,
okay,
anyways, I just left the auto mechanic place.
okay. I'm
So
sorry.
here we go. I'll read to you, Miss G. Miss G, I was illustrated as a trigger and safety concern based on me threatening the foster parent for sending my 8-year-old to school in active crisis with auditory hallucinations and sleep deprivation. And she refused to communicate with me based on her telling someone she did not want to argue with me, but did not provide adequate guardianship or proper therapeutic medical services.
Okay, and now hold on. Let's see what she said. Okay, now that one too.
This one?
Yeah, please.
My children were watching pornography on their school tablets in this foster parent's home, and the foster parents got a slap on the wrist.
Okay, on that part, Akima and Archie, I will read yours too after Akima. But that part, Akima, the reason that the foster homes are not punishing the child because they're forbidden to actually discipline the child when there's pornography or sex involved. So
No, no,
say the
no. They,
child,
she means that the foster parents got in no trouble. Basically, that the kids were viewing pornography in their care, quote unquote care, guardianship.
right? But again, they're forbidden to discipline the child or
No,
talk to
no.
the
We're
child
not
about
talking
it.
about disciplining. We're not talking about disciplining the child. We're talking about disciplining the foster parents for making it available to the children on their tablet
But the
and
foster parents
inadequate.
are told that by the foster parents are told that by the social workers though. They're told I we had a whistleblower on our show before. The foster parents are told by the social workers, even if the teenager or the 9-year-old runs away, do not call the police. You have to call them. Also, they're told that if the child wants to have sex at age 9, that their job, the foster parents, is to buy them condoms and allow them to have sex. So basically, they have rules that they have to follow from the social workers. The reason the social workers allow children to do that, for example, pornography and all this, again, I told you guys they're demonic. They're demonic. Only a demon would do this. Okay? The reason they want these children to have sex because A, they're gonna get pregnant. And once they get pregnant, that's a baby from that teenager that the social worker will remove to get that baby adopted. That's more money in their pocket. So what they're doing is they're putting the children in harm's way so they can have babies, so they can recycle the babies. I kid you not, this came from a supervisor in the Department of Children and Family Services in LA County. in the Vermont location. Okay? See, they don't know. There's a few working undercover in that department and all other departments too. See, everyone will be exposed. I guarantee you guys, one by one, everyone will be exposed. Don't ask me how, but I'm just letting you know. And don't ask me who and how do I know, because I will not say. All I'm telling you is that they will be exposed. Social worker, supervisor, I repeat, said to allow them to have sex. Why do you care? These kids will have babies and we're going to use them for adoption. Wouldn't you want to have more money in your pocket? The
And then these
supervisor said.
and
Do
don't
you
these
get
people
me?
then these people go to church and they say, we're foster parents and we're doing so much good for the community.
No, they're not. But remember, the devil goes to church too. Okay? The devil goes to church too. And the devil acts like you and me and everyone. Why? Because they're possessed. These people, that's why God said, do not, you're not fighting against flesh and blood. We're not. We're actually fighting the demons in them, right? So you guys have to understand demons exist because God exists. The devil, even those who worship him, know God exists because they're worshiping the one that was casted down, who's the devil, right? God exists. So please understand that what you're doing, make it like you thinking that you're doing the right thing and you're saying the right thing to the social worker. You're not. You're not. You're not. You're opening your mouth too much. And Stacy, please explain to everyone what I mean by that. Maybe I'm not explaining it right because people are still doing the same exact thing. Please explain it.
Miss G, you're right, but people don't want to believe you're right, and they want to believe that their situation is different because it's the only hope they have.
But there is no hope when you're dealing with demons. Demons don't give you hope. There is no hope when you're dealing with them. I get frustrated because
But
I do shows all the time
unfortunately,
and people
it's
don't
false
listen.
hope.
You guys don't listen. I get so many mothers who tell me, I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide. Okay, but if you get caught by a cop, right? If a cop arrested you,
This,
are you going to plead the fifth, right? Or you're not? Or you're going to just talk to the cop to defend yourself? You're going to be silent. The first thing you're going to say is, I am requesting an attorney. That's it. But with the social workers, you guys are so fooled. So fooled by them. Go ahead, Stacey. You were about to say something.
I was saying that the hope is not the social worker. People do have hope, but the hope is people like you, Mr. Davis. That's where the hope is, and you got to listen to what you're saying, what Mr. Davis says, not the social workers. The social workers are hopeless. Yes.
Um, what is that name again?
Oh boy.
I need a magnifying glass. Why is the writing so small today?
I don't know how to say it properly, but it's Yellow Rosa Gora.
Okay.
And I've seen firsthand how manipulative they are. It's all about terminating rights and getting money.
And what, baby?
And getting money. It is.
Yeah.
I always tell people it doesn't matter if you're green, purple, black, white, homosexual, heterosexual, rich, poor, Democrat, Republican. It doesn't matter what you are. If you want to know what's going to happen in the world, you follow the money. It's all about money.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Agreed.
It's all
Even
about.
even when they're trafficking children and the sick people that are, the customers in it, at the end of the day, it's not even about that. It's really at the end of the day, it's about money.
It is. It's about money and removing them. But again, you have to use a strategy implementing wisdom in it, right? So you can be ahead of them. You can be the 200 steps ahead of them instead of them being 200 steps ahead of you.
Right.
That's the point I'm trying to make. You need to be ahead of them. Please do not assume that you know what you're doing. And also, I want to explain something to you guys. And you know, okay, and I need to learn that too. I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
You're the best at giving the most accurate advice, but not following your own.
Exactly, right? No, I follow a lot of advice except a few.
Yeah,
When someone triggers
it's
me
true.
and I get, yeah, exactly. But the only thing that triggers me is lies. You lie, I will never ever speak to you again. I will never trust anyone who is a liar. I refuse, because lies, the devil is always behind lies. So when I hear people lying or people trying to hurt other people by lies, I attack them immediately. That's what I need to learn, not to attack the enemy immediately.
Miss G, I have to
Uh-huh.
get I have to get going. I have to pick up my girls, and so they'll. I don't want them to be in the car for this,
All right.
but
Love you.
and I apologize for hopping on late, but I'm trying to get my car situated. I have to work tomorrow, and I need
It's
somehow
okay.
to
It's
get there.
okay. It's okay. I love you, sweetheart. I'll
All
talk to you
right,
soon. All right. Bye.
thanks. Bye.
You're welcome. So I want you guys to remember this. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to, right? The social worker will poke you until you lose your mind. Remember, they're sociopathic, narcissistic people who are also same thing as possessed by demons. But you don't have to, right? You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. They can push your buttons all they want. Ignore it. Block your ears, right? Sing in your mind. Just say a song or say a prayer. I told you guys before, the devil cannot read your mind. He can't even read. Demons cannot read, period. Only God, only God can read your mind. I need you guys to start focusing on yourselves and your relationship with God. If you don't believe in God, I'm sorry, this message is not for you. I'm speaking to the Christians out there who are victims of demonic strategy in the United States, with the demonic rats everywhere, knowing about child trafficking in CPS custodies. They don't want to do anything about it. In fact, they're okay with it. I want you guys to be aware that you're not fighting the actual person, you're fighting the demons in them. Okay? Um, they will manipulate you guys. They will tell you all kinds of things, give you empty promises. Not true. They will divide you apart from your family members. That is very true. You will be divided royally from your family members. Okay? There's something else I want to share with you guys. When you speak about your case with everyone, that's not good for you either. Okay? So the devil, like I said, the devil cannot read. He cannot read your mind. He can put thoughts in your head. So thoughts in your head, but he can't he can't read anything, but he will put the thought for you to take it and implement it. So God is the only one that knows your heart, that knows every hair counted on your head. The devil cannot. So why do you think God tells us in Habakkuk 2 and 3? So Habakkuk, read Habakkuk 2 and 3. To write it down. Make it plain. Write it down. The reason God says that, because the enemy cannot read. Please think about that for a second. Read Habakkuk 2 and 3. It's spelled Habakkuk. Okay? He also tells us that death and life are in the power of the tongue. Every single thing the devil knows about you, you told him. Everything the devil knows, the enemy knows, is because you told them. Example, I'll give you guys an example that you guys all witnessed in your lives. You said to someone or to yourself, I'm depressed. You said I'm sick. I'm tired of this job. This person gets on my nerves. That person gets on my nerves. Oh, the kids is driving me up the wall. Oh, my husband is doing this or doing that. And then you're gossiping to somebody or you're telling somebody something like that, right? And the devil just listens, collecting all of the information that you're providing, and he uses it against you. The Bible also tells us that he's prowling around like a roaring lion seeking whomever to devour. So you're giving the devil the rope to hang you with. So let's close our mouth unless we're walking in our authority and telling and praising the Lord. When you are requesting something from the Lord, write it down. Write it down. Do not speak it out loud. Do not talk to your neighbors about it. Do not talk to your friends about it. That's very important. Same thing. When I say about the devil and demons, social workers are involved. See, a lot of people don't understand that Satan is not against good morals, right? The only thing that Satan is opposed to is Jesus Christ. A man, a woman can have good morals your entire life. But you guys know that he will go to a very dark place when that person falls, when they will fall. The devil knows that this is more than all of us, you guys. Satan's goal is to remove the name of Christ from his commands. And when we do this, people are deceived into thinking that if they live a good life, will receive God's approval and attain heaven. That's not true. Some will say we can use morals to attract people to the Lord. Yes, you can do that, but the ultimate issue is Christianity, right? In Christianity is the authority of Christ. And the devil is attacking this authority by convincing us to teach morals alone. And that's what breaks our family apart. Because the devil wants to eliminate authority of Jesus Christ from his commands. God honors marriages. What's going on with marriages? How many divorces are we seeing? How many families are divided apart? Because nobody honors the authority of God. The way God tells the man to treat his wife and the way the woman should treat her husband, it's all gone. It doesn't exist on this earth. And we get into trouble from all this. We put ourselves into harm's way. And then we blame God. I'm telling you guys, when you're dealing with demons, people who are literally possessed by demons, you have to wise up. The only one that can pull you through this and send you the right people to help you is God. But if you don't have a relationship with him, the devil will also send you people pretending to be from God. You have to have discernment to distinguish between the two. So I'm begging you guys, I'm asking you from the bottom of my heart, is for you guys to wise up because your children need you. Men, please, once you're married, honor your wife. She becomes your queen and wife. The man becomes your king. You become one. And you produce children and you teach them God's ways. Make God first and you will never ever fall. I'm telling you guys. But we don't. We don't. We tend to lean to anger first. I just did it yesterday. Somebody lied. And I know this person is lying. I know. I see evidence. It's like you're looking at the truth in front of you, right? And that person is denying it. So I got angry. I didn't cuss the person out, but I get angry. I was upset. Because lies is not from God, lies is from Satan. When a person lies to you, Satan is literally operating that person. That is the only thing I hate in my entire life is a liar. You guys need to understand that these people in the Department of Children and Family Services, not one of them is legit, not one of them is God fearing. The ones who are legit are the ones who resign from the department. I'm telling you this over and over again to understand. The ones who are legit are the ones who resign from the department. The supervisor that you complain to, the social worker supervisor you complain to, that's the biggest snake in the department. Because that supervisor took on the title supervisor because she lied for the previous supervisor under oath to convict two innocent parents. They get a raise and they get promoted when they cover up for the supervisor. So every supervisor in the Department of Children and Family Services will never, ever help you. I told you guys they are venom. They're full of poisonous venom in them. Poisonous. The social workers that follow the guidelines of their supervisor is also a snake, but she's not the cobra. That social worker is just a little snake who is power hungry and wants to be a supervisor, right? So she's going to bow down to her supervisor and does everything her supervisor wants her to do. These are facts and it's proven. And the social workers that don't lie for their supervisors will not be treated well afterwards. The social workers who decide to do the right thing and speak up, they will be fired. So again, the ones that remove themselves from the department when they discover the deception and the lies and the theft of innocent children, they automatically resign. They can't do it anymore. Okay, because they can't stay. No matter what they do, they can't stay. uh, okay, let me look. Okay, so from what I see, Darlena, she wrote in NYS. I had an indicted case based on lies. They knew were lies. They knew were lies. I could prove the reports were lies when wanting to have reviewed the police, I guess. The review are the ones who made the original decision. There was evidence, but then didn't offer any guidance or remove the child. Nothing, just put on my record. Okay, I don't understand. Okay, yeah, I get the part that I get that baby New York State, but I get this New York State, but I'm not understanding your message. I'm so sorry. Uh, Based on lies, were lies. I could prove the reports were lies when wanting to have reviewed. The people that reviewed are ones who made the original decision. Let's see, they found it a case based on lies. Okay, right. All cases are based on lies, all of them. But if you don't have the right defense attorney, Darlena, let me tell you, social. Okay, so where is the book? Here it is. Okay, so in CPS cases, there is different types of hearings. I'm going to explain it again. So you get the social worker initial investigation. Okay, social worker initial investigation. And the first court hearing is the arraignment and detention hearing. The first court hearing is the most important hearing that you definitely need to hire an attorney immediately for, right? The social worker will present evidence in court that's lies, nothing but lies. Because why? The mother or father or both open their mouth, and relatives too. Because the social worker will go to your relatives. Okay, this is the question they will ask: did Mike and Angela fight, ever argue? Everyone knows it's a normal thing for a married couple to argue, or even dating couple. Then the grandmother or the relatives will say, yeah, they argued on Thanksgiving about who's going to cut the turkey, but it was a stupid argument. And the husband won. Get it? That's grandma or relatives are saying this. Listen carefully. The relative meant nothing about it. It was a joke. Like, I carve better, now you carve better, blah, blah, blah. It's a joke. It wasn't an argument, but it was a disagreement. But the grandmother's like, it was just the only thing I've seen them do is argue over who's going to carve the turkey. The social worker wrote down the grandmother said there was domestic violence previously. Then the social worker is going to add that the grandmother didn't report it to the police. I don't recommend that the grandmother have the placement of the child or the children because the grandmother failed to protect them. Think about what I just said. After that, the mother of the child and the father would read the social worker's report and say, how dare she say this? We never fought, we never argued, we never. Then they're going to be defensive, they're going to be argumentative, they're going to lose their mind. And then all of the family now are divided apart. That's a demonic strategy. Social workers' demonic strategy. Please understand that. I'm begging you understand that. Once this happens, the social worker leaves her office afterward laughing about it, laughing about how great she was and how easy it was to get what she wanted. If your court appointed attorney does not present evidence on the right time in the right hearing, and say 12 months later you want that evidence to be submitted into court as evidence, or even talk about it during your appeal argument, not going to work. Because that attorney did not submit the evidence to begin with. Can't discuss something that wasn't entered into court. You can only discuss what was entered or filed into court. That's why it's important to hire a CPS defense attorney. Please, guys, do not be fooled. Um, I'm sorry, guys. Most of you guys know I'm diabetic, so my eyesight is not good all the time. So, uh, Darlena said, I wanted to ask to review the case to be not founded. And Darlena also said, see, they skipped all of that, never had hearing, nothing. So, Darlena, from what I understand is that you never had a hearing and they just took your children? Because we have a case in New York right now that Attorney Davis is handling, um, but it's in Buffalo, New York. Um, I'm not understanding. Are you telling me, or telling us rather, that they took your children without a court hearing? You never had a hearing? Because within 72 hours, you're supposed to have a hearing. No founder the case, but didn't take child or offer any help classes, nothing? Um, Darlena, Is it possible for you to call and let us hear you on speaker? If it's possible, if you can call my direct number right now, and then we can hear what you're saying on speaker, I think that would be a lot better than what I'm trying to gather from your typing. Okay? Please answer yes or no and let me know. If it's a yes, I will give you my number. Okay, not a problem. I saw a no. Oh, she said not. Sorry. I thought it was a no. Not at this time, but possibly can catch at next live. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I don't understand your whole what you're saying exactly. But I did have a case where the mother was never told about the 72-hour hearing. All she was told that the social worker will contact her and her attorney assigned to her will contact her. But no one contacted her. So in her reports, we discovered that the social worker wrote that she uh, and the court appointed attorney, of course, wrote that we called mother at 213-555-1212. Example. The mother's like, that's never been my number. In fact, her number doesn't even start with a 213. Her number starts with 909 area code. So the court appointed attorney didn't even argue with the court about that. Why? Again, because they hire criminal attorneys and immigration attorneys, real estate attorneys, corporate attorneys. They don't know anything about CPS, but they're getting paid anyways from the state, whether they help you or not. They're still getting paid. So again, they don't even discuss it. They let it slide. But how is the mother going to justify herself or the father or both if you say you called, but then you wrote the wrong number of somebody else's number on the paperwork, but the mother's number is not even that number. So how did you try to reach them, right, to attend the hearing? So that's again demonic strategy. They want to make sure that you don't go to the first hearing. It's a very important hearing. Again, the first hearing is the most important hearing because that's the beginning of your life. That's the start of your life. It will either break you or you will come out of it victoriously. Why? Because you had the right defense attorney to begin with. In fact, if you hired an attorney the minute you saw a social worker business card on your door, before you even called the social worker, that would have been better. Because our attorney, example, I'll use Davis, will call the social workers, but the social workers don't want to speak to our attorney because he's an attorney. Then they're going to get their attorney, right? CPS will have their own attorney. That attorney will communicate with Attorney Davis. Then Attorney Davis will ask the proper questions. Why are you contacting my client? What are the allegations? That court appointed attorney, I mean, not a court appointed attorney, sorry. They're different than the court appointed attorney. They're actually CPS attorneys for CPS, protecting them. He's going to go beat around the bush with Attorney Davis a little bit, but Attorney Davis is so calm. Most of you guys know that. But they don't understand that they're messing with the head of the Cobras. Attorney Davis is not a joke. I tell you guys this all the time. He's not a joke. You don't want to mess with him. He's calm, but he's very clever. So I have seen this man stop CPS from removing children. Never contacted again after that. I have seen that happen many times. But if you guys right away get the phone, call the social workers, start talking to the social workers. Why are you here? Well, what's the allegations? Well, da, 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 da. Then all your questions will be written down on paper as the mother was being difficult, The mother sounded very scared. The mother had things to hide. Her voice was shaken. The mother admitted that she was doing drugs. You tell me, Miss G, I recorded the conversation. If you're in California, it's a two-party consent state. They're going to argue that in court. If you have the right defense attorney, he or she will listen to the communication. And oftentimes, when we listen to it, it shows that you were in the wrong, the parent. So, oftentimes, when we use emotions to control the situation, you will lose. You have to be calm. You have to think before you react. When you react before you think, you're going to be in the wrong. Anyone that has authority to remove from you is not someone you can trust. Okay? Understand that their goal is to make money from you and your children. Period. End of story. I want to read something to my fellow Christians out there that I put together. Okay? Let's see, where did I put that? So, I want you to meditate on that today if you can. So, Matthew 6 verse 34. Don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's trouble is enough for today. But what the social worker is going to lead you to think is that you have to be worried every day. Don't worry about what's going to happen tomorrow. I need you guys to really pray because God does listen. God listens to prayers. Oftentimes, I see people saying that I pray, Miss G, but God is not listening to me. I am distracted. I don't have faith anymore. I don't feel God is working on my behalf, etc., etc., etc. God listens to your prayers. But the problem with us is that we tend to read, like we tend to speak it out loud. We shouldn't. Even Jesus says, don't be like the hypocrite Pharisees and be on the street side, bowing down and praying and shouting the name of the Lord and this and that. God doesn't even like that. Jesus said, go to your room, close the door, pray to your heavenly Father, and let your request be known. But be silent when you pray. Be silent. Again, the devil cannot read your thoughts, only God can. The devil cannot read what you write, only God can. The only thing the devil takes to use against you is what he hears from your mouth. You know, we all have to learn at one point in our lives. Even I continue to learn daily. But the wise ones will take the learning and implement it. And the foolish ones will keep repeating the same thing over and over. Be wise. Understand that the devil is frightened by the name of Jesus. Think about that for a second. The name of Jesus brings out demons from people. Cast them out in the name of Jesus. How can we bow down to the devil that was casted down from our Heavenly Father? Think about that. God didn't create the devil and his fallen angels. He didn't tell them to sin. I mean, he created them, but what I'm saying is he didn't tell them to sin. But they did. They wanted, because of pride is evil. Anything that has pride, the word pride in it, is evil. because that's what brought the devil down. The devil will appear to you as the angel of light, thinking that he or she is from God, not from God. Wisdom discernment will help you distinguish between evil people and good people. You will be able, your gut will be able to sense it. Your gut will warn you. That's the Holy Spirit in you. Because the Holy Spirit in us is one God. Jesus is part of God. Because if God came down on earth himself, we would not be able to stand it. It's too powerful. So he had to bring what? A baby to be born. So we can learn and walk the right path. But we, the people, we're so blinded by sin because sin is what divides us from God. You can't ask God, a holy God, to be in the midst of darkness and sin. Can't do that. We're light, right? We overpower darkness. Darkness cannot overpower light. The light is who we are. Think about it, meditate on it, and God bless you guys. It's truly God bless you guys. And I pray for you guys all the time. All the time. God only knows how much it kills me, and I cry daily when I hear a mother's tears or a father's tears, especially fathers. You know why? Because a man is so hard for a man to cry. When a father cries, it is deep, it's pain. A mother's love for the children is so intense that a part of her tears apart like little pieces every day that he or she is not around their kids. So keep in mind that again, what we say will make it happen. Speak positive over your life, speak positive over your situation. Praise God out loud, but let your request be known from God in silence or in writing, please. God bless you again. And I love you guys. I really do. I really do love you guys. And I'm so sorry that you're facing these demonic strategies and demonic malice crap. Okay. I will see you guys. What's tomorrow? I will see you guys back on Thursday with another show. And on Friday is Relative Fight CPS. So if you guys have a relatives that you want them to listen to the show, please have them listen to the show and maybe understand the CPS demonic strategy. If they have any questions, please don't hesitate to write it down in the comment section. Um, and then we'll go from there. Thank you guys. Bye bye.